Okay, so I was wrong about Mushoku Tensei. Let me explain. So when I started out with Mushoku Tensei, I was like, okay, let me give this a try. I was typing this up. I want to see what the hype's really about. And the first few episodes was very unique. The intro was unique. It was very funny. Had some quirky characters, and I'm like, yo, this is pretty good. And I think it was somewhere around the middle point when the Demon Continent arc started. That's when I kind of started feeling like Mushoku Tensei was just an average isekai. They were just going on quests, doing basic things, and I'm like, this is a basic ass isekai now. So I took a break from Mushoku Tensei, but then a month later, I returned to the anime to catch up on the episodes I missed because I wanted to do a video stating that Mushoku Tensei was a super overrated anime and that people need to stop hyping it up. So in order to make that video, I would have to finish the show. So when I revisited the show, I was like, alright, let's just get this over with. But that's when this amazing story surprised me and really allowed me to fully appreciate everything it presented before. Mushoku Tensei is one of those anime where you really do need to watch the entire thing before criticizing the anime, because prior to watching these last few episodes, as I stated before, I would thought it was a pretty basic isekai. But as you see Team Dead End go on this journey to find Rudeus' family and to get back home, you start to see how the world comes together as they travel across the Demon Continent. You meet new characters. You learn more about the characters that we already do know, as well as more depth is added to these characters. As we go on this journey with Team Dead End, we see how Eris grows from what used to be just a stubborn, hot-tempered female character to someone who's more understanding, mature, as well as the character Rugerd, who used to be just a very impulsive, angry person, learning to be calm, control his anger, harness it for good. All these things help make the characters and the journey feel so real. And the thing I really like about Mushoku Tensei is the whole family aspect. We don't usually get this a lot in isekai, where the main character has a family in the second world, where he's truly reincarnated and his family actually matters to the plot. And I think that's what makes Mushoku Tensei stand out from the rest. The fact that Rudeus actually has a real bond with the family that the viewers can understand, because we've seen him grow up from a little kid to how he is now. We see the gradual growth not only physically but psychologically. And because we actually seen the journey and seen what Rudeus' family's like, moments like when he's reunited with characters like Paul actually have a real impact, because these are people we know and appreciate as watchers. Even though we haven't seen Paul the most, when he reunited with Paul, it still meant something. And the show knows how to make you care about characters in general. Because even with Aisha, a character who we didn't get much of and we didn't really know until Rudeus met her for the first time, the anime made sure to convey what type of character Aisha was and made her feel like her own character, and she didn't really feel like just, oh, Rudeus' little sister. Aisha was her own person, her own being. I think small things like that really help connect with me as a watcher and what really helped me enjoy it. And not only are the characters well written and feel real, but the comedy aspect of the show is always on point. It seems like this show has found the perfect balance with that comedy. It never feels too excessive and always adds a nice touch to the watching experience. But the moment in which I was truly hooked with this anime, where it moved from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, would have to be the moment within episode 10 of the second half, which would be, I believe, episode 20, when Team Dead End runs into the Dragon God, where Rugerd and Eris were telling Rudeus not to move. I'm like, oh shit, this is getting real now. Like, I knew Mushoku Tensei had its dark side. I knew it could get bloody, gory, violent, but this definitely took it to the next level. The disparity you could feel within that short interaction between them and this freaking god was something like none other. It made me remember that Mushoku Tensei actually has lore. There's more to this story than just looking for his family and getting with his love interest. This story has a real, living, breathing world. And though I knew this moment really drive that point forward. And when I tell y'all I was hooked in this moment, I was hooked. But yeah, that's pretty much what solidified the show. And from then on, the tone of the show started to get gloomier, darker. They all find their way back home, and then they see that their home was destroyed. The Mana disaster ruined everything. We see Rudeus walking through the town, and he's looking back and having memories of his days as a child when he grew up. And these are actually relevant to us as watchers because we've seen these moments. We've seen when he was a kid running around training with Paul, and that's what helped make these moments feel so impactful, and that's what made me appreciate the story and everything that came before it. The boring moments when they were traveling with Rugerd were important because it helped me care about Rugerd as a character. So when they had to say goodbye to him after Rugerd finally lets them get back home, I couldn't help but be a little bit emotional because we were with this guy for such a long time. Like, I was like, damn, there were some boring ass episodes, but like, I'ma miss my man Rugerd. Like, I'ma actually miss this character. And that's when you know an anime is great. You actually care about the characters, the story. You can appreciate the slower moments because you are actually rewarded for going through those slower moments later on. And then when they saw the state of where Eris used to live, I forgot the name of the kingdom, but when they saw the tents, they reunited with Ghislaine. It was supposed to be a very happy reunion, but there was just this somber tone to it. It was like, damn, this isn't the same Mushoku Tensei where it was all sunshines and rainbows quite literally at the beginning of the show. The show is evolving, the show is changing, it's shifting. The characters are growing. Eris from before the Demon Continent and after the Demon Continent is noticeably more mature. All these things showcase the author's amazing ability to write a very cohesive, well-paced, enjoyable story. The author knows how to balance the comedy with the isekai adventures, with the somber tone, with the social issues that the main character Rudeus went through in his past life that we constantly get flashbacks to. All these things just make for this amazing blend into this anime called Mushoku Tensei. And I really liked how after Eris and Rudeus did their thing, Eris leaves and Rudeus is down and he starts having flashbacks. Flashbacks to all the old mistakes he made. Flashbacks of the life he regretted. Reminding us as an audience that Rudeus isn't a completely different person all of a sudden. Even though he went through all these things, Rudeus still is the shut-in, the NEET who did nothing with his life. The NEET who had no belief in himself or in his ability. And the very end of the last episode where Rudeus decides, you know what? My mom is waiting for me. She's out there somewhere. I can't keep wallowing in my own weakness. And how we got a little snapshot of the parallels between him walking out the tent and him walking out his house in the real world. I believe that was just an amazing touch to the anime and just reminds us that this is really a reincarnation story. This is really a second chance at life story. And they constantly remind us that he's making better decisions than he did in his past life. He's doing his best to be better than he once was in his past life. And ReZero does a good job at this as well. I'm going to give a shout out to ReZero, but nothing does it like Mushoku Tensei when it comes to this. And yeah, man, it's a true isekai. I know why people been saying that now, but yeah, man, that's just a little spiel on Mushoku Tensei, man. This anime, I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed, and oh my god, I'm excited for season 2. I'm ready, man. We're in for something good next season. I don't know what's gonna happen. Rudeus on his own now. Eris is gone. Ghislaine gone. I'm excited though. This story is just getting so interesting. So interesting. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video, man. I was wrong about Mushoku Tensei. I was wrong, man. As always, people, have an awesome day. Just the hero out.